Hi. So today I want to talk about lessons and what I think about them and why I actually no longer believe that life is about lessons and that the universe is still delivering lessons to me. But before I start talking about this, I just want to address that I know that there are a lot of people who do feel that way. You do feel that there are lessons for you to learn and that you are being tested by the universe, especially if you are somebody who is like me, you're interested in the law of attraction. You know that you are the creator of your reality. And you feel that you are being tested by the universe. Before I say anything, I just want to say that that's completely valid. That if this is a thought that's helpful to you, I think you should continue to think that. Because, there was a time in my life where this very same thought, was very helpful to me too. Especially when things weren't going well in my life, things weren't working out. Whenever I would think I'm being tested, this is just a challenge, this is just a lesson that I have to learn, it would actually bring me relief. It was a relieving thought. It was a thought that helped me. So if this is how you feel currently, this is a very beneficial thought for you to think, because it's all about, the law of attraction is all about how you feel. The universe is just delivering to you more and more how you feel. So if you are thinking something and it's helpful to you, you should continue to think that way. It's beneficial. So therefore, since I'm going to be talking about how I don't believe in lessons anymore, this might not be the video to watch for you, and I'm just letting you know now. This might be something that's going to trigger you in that case, because this is a thought that's helpful to you specifically, and I'm going to be saying, the opposite of that. So you are going to feel some type of way about it. So I would just, rethink watching this video. But it's also possible that you watch it and it actually is of help to you. But just remember that I am only talking about my own experience. My experience has got nothing to do with yours. My path has got nothing to do with yours. They are two completely different things, and they can exist at the same time. This is my belief. So I wanted to address that before you start watching this video. But anyway, so why I am thinking about this at all is that I saw a post from somebody a few days ago, and this is someone on YouTube. It's somebody that I like to watch from time to time. We have similar beliefs. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar enough so I can understand what they're saying and everything. And this person was just basically saying that they know that they are the creator of their reality, and they know that their thoughts turn to things and everything. They know that the universe is responding to them. But they were saying how they were just expressing how it's still difficult for them, because a lot of this is about following your own intuition. It's not like you can look to anyone else to give you guidance. Your own intuition is your best guidance. It's, what's best for you. But sometimes it can feel like you're going through life blindly, even if you know that you are the creator of your own reality, even if you know that the universe is responding to you. So this then just got me thinking, well, what do I think about lessons today? Because they were saying that even though I know that I am the creator of my reality, I still feel like I'm going through life blindly and just by my intuition. And I do know that my thoughts turn to things. And it feels to me basically as if I need to be in this good feeling place a lot of the time, because otherwise how I'm feeling is going to start turning into things. And then I feel like it's like I don't know what I'm going to get. That I'm going to get something unwanted if I'm not really paying attention. And I know that there's these lessons in life that we need to learn. And if you don't learn the lesson, then it just keeps on repeating until you learn it. And I'm just like scared of it, basically. That's what they were saying. Even though I'm the creator of my own reality, I'm just scared that the universe is basically going to send me these lessons that I don't want, and that I'm going to feel some type of way about it. And I'm just scared that something that's just outside of my control is going to happen. And I get this feeling. And sometimes I still feel that way, to be honest. But I do feel like my understanding of the laws of the universe has changed a lot with time as well. And whenever I make these videos, I just want them to be of help in some kind of way to anyone, whoever, even if just one person is helped by this. Even if just my own self is helped by this, to be honest. I just want them to be this place where you can come and hopefully feel some type of relief. Because, we all have this life to live, and sometimes it can be very confusing. You can just be out there doing things, and stuff is happening, and it's confusing and messy, and there's like all this chatter always coming to you, so much energy coming your way, especially if you're a sensitive person. You're sensitive to energy, which you will become if you practice feeling better, and you care about how you feel. You become sensitive to energy, especially then. And, for me, when I watch somebody like Abraham Hicks, for example, it feels to me as if I'm like, somebody is like reminding me of who I really am and how the universe really works. And I suddenly feel as if, oh, okay, everything makes sense again. So this is kind of like my aim with my own videos. I just want to create a space where myself or someone else can come to and feel that feeling, feel that, oh, everything makes sense again. Oh, maybe this is not really that big of a deal after all. Just feel some relief. That's how I want to help, basically. And so I think that it's a good idea for me to just talk about what I think about these lessons and all of this testing, this concept, and how this relates to what is my current understanding of the laws of the universe. So basically, I used to also think this way, even though I knew that I was the creator of my own reality, just like that person, right? I used to also think that if something's not going well, or something is not happening that I want to be happening, that I am being tested. The universe is testing me. The universe is sending me lessons. All of these unwanted experiences that I'm going through, they're lessons. Because I have to learn something. And that used to be a helpful thought to me. But now, as my understanding of these laws has deepened, I actually don't feel that relief anymore when I think that way. Because this law of attraction thing, it has just... There's like a bird outside somewhere. Oh yeah, there's a bird right there. You couldn't see, but there's a bird was on my balcony. Bird really agrees with this message. So maybe Maybe that is a message for someone. Literally from source energy or God or whoever you believe in. Because birds are messengers. So this thought that I am being sent lessons to learn and that I'm being tested actually stopped being of relief to me at one point. And then, because my knowledge of these laws just has become more and clearer, I now have a different point of view. And that's what I want to talk about. So, I feel personally that the law of attraction is like the most logical thing that I have ever heard in my life. It's the thing that makes most sense to me. Like if I think about how this law works and how the universe works according to it, everything just makes sense. It's like logical. Like it's logical to me that if I feel a certain way, that evidence, law of attraction, would send me evidence that I feel this type of way. It's logical to me that it would be that way. I've gotten to this kind of place now with it. And it is also logical to me that the universe, from my point of view, this is a very benevolent universe. It loves all of us because we are it. Source energy it's pure positive energy, and we are all source energy. So we are all pure positive energy, or whatever you believe in. We are all that, basically. And if this is a benevolent universe, then it doesn't really make sense to me that I would be sent these lessons to learn and that I would be tested about stuff. And it also doesn't make sense to me, considering my current understanding of how it is that thoughts turn to feelings and feelings turn to things. Because if you understand that you are the creator of your reality, which you are, if there is also this belief, and I'm just talking about myself, I warned you before I started this video, right? If there is also this belief in me that while I am the creator of my reality, there are also been lessons sent to me, then it feels like two contradictory things. It feels like there is still somebody else or something else that is just inserting things into my experience that I don't want. And it just doesn't make sense, considering what I know about how this law works, because it's just responding to what you are thinking and feeling. The universe itself is not like deciding that I'm going to send this lesson your way so that you could learn something, because you are here to learn something. This is also why it doesn't make sense to me, because my understanding is that we came here, all of us, we came here to create any kind of life that we want. This is why we want to come here. Like from our higher self perspective, this is why we want to come here, because we understand from that perspective that this environment, this world, has the ability to give us, to provide us anything that we want. It just takes believing in those things that we want. But it's basically able to give us anything that we want. There are no limits, and from that perspective we understand that. So from that perspective, the way we see this world is basically like, this is all a huge playground for us to play on like little kids. We understand that life is supposed to feel like a vacation, but the reason it doesn't feel that way is because we are practicing these patterns of thought that don't let it feel that way. If you're practicing being worried a lot, so you feel worried, and now law of attraction responds to you and sends you things to worry about, basically, then life doesn't feel like a vacation. Yeah, it makes sense. It is that way, that it would be that way. But from our higher perspective, we understand, especially because all of that worry and all of these negative feelings, they feel bad, right? So that means that we are in disagreement with our higher selves about life in this case. From that perspective, as your higher self, you understand that actually this is supposed to be like a vacation. This is supposed to be a playground. This is supposed to be a fun, happy, joyful existence. But the reason it's not that way often for us is because we just have habits of thought that don't let us feel that way. And because we don't feel that way, so therefore these things that would feel that way can't manifest either. That's why it's so important to think about how you feel and do something about it. And so therefore, because the universe, it is not passing any kind of judgment onto us. It's not judging us. It's not like Kelly here needs to learn this lesson, so I'm going to insert this lesson into her experience for her to learn this. It's not like that. But then I also have this question, well then why do sometimes unwanted things happen? That, unwanted things that I didn't see coming. Why does that happen? And this is the part that is sometimes hard to accept. Like even for me, sometimes it's hard to accept this. I have come to learn that sometimes your higher self will call you through an experience which from your human perspective will feel unwanted. In that moment in time, it will feel unwanted. It will feel like something has gone wrong. Something is going wrong. And it feels like I'm doing something wrong. And the reason this happens is because we are here to understand fully that we are the creators of our own reality. We want clarity more than anything else in the world. We want to be clear about our life and our preferences in life. And so, because our higher self knows that this is something that we actually really, really want. This clarity is very, very wanted by us. We want to be extremely clear. And we want to remember who we are. We want to remember that we are the creators of our reality, because we don't like feeling like shit. And we don't like a shitty life, and it's not supposed to be that way. And your higher self knows that this is what you want. More than anything else, this is what you want. And so then it will call you through an experience which will feel to you at the time, as it's happening, like it's something terrible, like something has really gone wrong. It will feel to you like it's a really unwanted experience. Because through this experience will cause you to ask for clarity in a very, very strong way. Clarity which you want more than anything else that you want. And then, once this experience has happened, and then you start making sense of it at some point, when you're not so wrapped up in what is happening anymore, then you reach this point of like unbelievable clarity. You have never been this clear in your life about anything ever before. And if you're watching this video, you probably have had situations like that in your own life. I know that I have had that, and this is why I am so clear on all this right now. It came through those experiences. And if those things had not happened, I would not be this clear. But while they were happening, it felt like a super fucking unwanted thing. It felt horrible. It's only after that was over and I could like make sense of what happened that I reached this place. And then I, met up with my higher self and started thinking about these things the way my higher self is thinking about them. And then it made sense to me why that happened. And I feel like if you know that you are the creator of your reality, then it feels as if, like, this is what you're afraid of. You're afraid of something like that happening. You're afraid of this big unwanted experience happening so that you could get to clarity, because as it's happening, it feels really unwanted. It feels like something has gone wrong, when actually it's something going very, very right. It's very interesting. And you don't understand that this is something going very, very right until afterwards, until you start to make sense of it later on, until you're on the other side of it and you realize who you have now become because of that experience. And then you look back and you understand that without this experience, I would not be as clear as I am right now. I couldn't be here where I am right now. Some people go through these experiences and they end up saying, this was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And it's like, how can that be? Because in that situation, while this was happening, it felt extremely horrible. But now they are saying this was the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, it's because they wanted that clarity. They wanted to be that person that they now are because of these experiences, because they went through these things. They wanted that more than anything else. But they didn't even know that they wanted that until these things happened, and they then made sense of them, and now they are who they are. So then they end up saying now, from this new perspective, actually, this was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Because I learned this from that. I now know that my preferences are this, because of that. I now know who I want to be or what I want to do. And it's because of that. And I know that it feels to us, especially if you're somebody that understands the laws of the universe, you understand that you are the creator of your own reality. It feels to us as if that is something to be afraid of, that there's going to be this huge experience that's going to come out of nowhere. And because you now know about all of these things, you are almost like scared that you're going to go back to how you used to be, when you didn't know these things. You are scared that this experience is just going to throw you around, or going to throw you into this emotional place that you can't get out of anymore. But that is just a misunderstanding, because in your heart of hearts that you can't unknow what you now know. You can't go back. Once you know how this universe works, once you know the laws of the universe, you can't go back anymore. You will always know this stuff now. And yeah, sure, you can go back to reacting to life and all of that, and that's just fine. But you will always know, in the back of your mind somewhere, that there is another way. And that you are being responded to. And especially if you're somebody that actually keeps yourself in this practice of managing your own emotional state, then honestly, you don't need to be afraid of this, some kind of unwanted experience happening, because you know what to do now. It's still like this old feeling when you didn't know what to do, and then something unwanted happened, and then you were in that terrible place, and you're just scared that you're gonna end up there again. But you knew way less back then than you do now. You know how to manage your emotional state now. You know what your emotions mean. You know that there's this higher self part of you and then this physical part of you. And that when you meet up with this higher self, when you think about things the way your higher self, the way source energy, the way God or whatever thinks about things, then you don't feel that discord anymore. That emotional discord between what the physical you is thinking and then what the higher self part is thinking. And because you now are a person who cares about how they feel, you're not ever going to go back. Because you're so sensitive now. You care about how you feel, and you have learned to do things to help yourself feel better. So, whatever happens, whatever situation comes your way, you have tools now to deal with it. To help yourself, to deal with your own emotional state about this thing, whatever is happening. Like I promise you, you will know what to do. And because you now are a person who cares about how they feel, you will not stay in that terrible feeling place. Even if you do get there, you will not stay there because you just simply care too much about how you feel. You're not the you that you used to be anymore. That was then, this is now. You know what to do now if something like that should happen. And you will notice that if something like that happens, you gain more clarity throughout it. And yes, you do have to remind yourself that like nothing has gone wrong, even if some unwanted experience happens, because unwanted will never stop happening. And you know this. If you are a creator of your own reality, you know this. You know that you need these unwanted experiences so you could know what is wanted by you. But it's not that the universe is sending you these lessons, because if you find that something keeps on repeating in your life, some type of experience that feels some type of way, I now, and this is just me, but I now feel that this is simply because your emotional state about this thing, about this subject, whatever it is, it hasn't changed. Because the universe is just matching how you feel inside about anything. So if you keep getting some experience all over and over and over again, it's because on this subject you have not changed from the inside. You still feel the way that you used to feel about it. Otherwise, this experience couldn't keep on repeating. I hope this is making sense. It's basically, my understanding now is that we didn't come here to learn lessons, because there are no lessons to learn. There is just more clarity to be gained. And I know that sometimes gaining clarity feels like learning lessons. Like, yes, it does feel that way. And if it is helpful to you to think of these unwanted experiences as lessons, then I think you should continue to think that way, because for you, that is right now very helpful. For me, it's no longer helpful, because I have just come to understand that this law of attraction thing is just something very logical. You feel some type of way, and evidence gathers around to show you that you feel some type of way. Any experience that is happening in response to how you feel, and you can change how you feel. So it no longer makes sense to me to think of these experiences, unwanted experiences, as lessons and as being tested. If something that I want is not coming to me, it can only be because I'm still a match to my old reality. And yeah, that's sometimes difficult for me to accept as well. Like, Even right now, as I'm making this video, I do have things in my life that are like that, things that aren't manifested. And I would just like to make a side note here that we are always going to have things that have not manifested. Because what would otherwise be the point of life? If everything you have ever wanted has manifested, it's kind of boring now, So there has to be like the next thing and the next thing. That's just how it works. So you're always going to have things that have not manifested yet. That's just how it works. Nothing has gone wrong. So, but I have things like that in my life right now that are like that. And it's sometimes, difficult for me to accept that I am not a match to this thing right now, because otherwise it would be here. But at least I can know that I know enough about the laws of the universe, that I know that in order to get that thing, whatever it is that I want, my emotional state has to match what that thing feels like. So I have to ask myself things like, if I knew that this was for sure, this thing, whatever that I want, if it was inevitable, if this was for sure, if this had already happened, if this was here right now, how would I feel? What would that Kelly who is experiencing that thing, how would she feel right now? What would be the things that she would be doing? What would be the things that she would be saying? What would be the things that she would be thinking if those things were here right now? That can be a helpful thing for me to do. And then I know that your physical reality does always lag behind. Yeah. You have to maintain these feelings for a little while without any physical manifested reason for you to feel that way. And then they can start showing up. And then at the same time, I can just remember that my life is just a string of moments in which I feel some type of way. It's not these big manifestations, right? So then it really matters how I feel right now. And I don't like to feel like shit. So I make myself feel better whatever way I can. Because that's also the point of life. The point of life is to be happy. The point of life is to be joyful. Yes, it's very simplistic, but that's how I've come to understand what the point of life is at its core. So it makes sense that I would make myself feel better. And sometimes you have to make yourself feel better about the fact that something hasn't manifested yet. Because it's also like this thing that hasn't manifested yet, it's like an uncontrollable condition. You can't really say that tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. I am going to manifest this thing. It doesn't work that way, right? You don't really know when these things show up. It can be hard to judge what is my state of how much resistance do I have this thing right now? What is the amount of resistance? Because I do know that the timing is just about am I a match to this thing or not? It's not like the universe is waiting. The universe, it's not like the universe has put a timeline on this and been and it's being this thing will happen in 3 months. We have just decided that this thing will happen in 3 months. That's not my understanding of the universe. My understanding of the universe is, as soon as you have accomplished that state of feeling that would bring these types of things, whatever it is that you want, to you, they have to start making their way to you. But you have to stay in that state. You can't go back and forth constantly, believing in this thing, not believing in this thing, believing in this thing, not believing in this thing, because you just keep yourself in this place where you don't move in any direction, really. And the timing, from my understanding, is just about keeping yourself to the best of your ability in this place where you are believing it. You have to believe it more of the time than you doubt it, basically. But you still can't say, at least that's been my experience, you still can't say when exactly this thing is going to show up. And it's also my understanding that there's a pathway to this thing. There are like other things that will occur on the path to this thing. Like even me making these videos right now, this is just me following my path of least resistance, what I believe that it is. It's following my bliss, basically, following the path of most fun. Different teachers say, like, call it differently, but that's basically what it is. So I know that I am on the path to the things that I want, and that my making these videos here is a part of that because of how it feels to me when I do that. It feels good to me. I like doing this, so that's why I keep doing this. I don't keep doing this because I think that I am a YouTuber, or I think that I'm an influencer, or that I want to be a YouTuber or an influencer. If I feel like I have something to say on this, and if I feel like I could help this world or anyone in this world in some kind of way with these things that I have come to learn, then, and I feel like making a video about something, then I come on here and I make a video about something. But it's not like I see it as my like duty or something. If I didn't feel like making these videos for whatever reason, I would, like if I didn't like doing this, I would instantly stop. Like I would just stop. Because, you know, this is my life and I don't want my life to feel like shit. So if I'm making them, it's because I like doing this. And so therefore, I know, because it feels good when I do this, I know that this is the path. I know that me making these videos is on the path towards anything and everything else that I want, because it feels good. And because those things that I want, these things also feel good. Like, are you following this? I hope that you are. But it's not like I know where this is leading. Like, I don't know where this is going, me making these videos. Like, I don't know if I have just made some kind of like monumental decision when I decided to start talking about this that is now leading me towards something in my life. I don't know if I just made some kind of really big, important decision when I decided to start doing this. I don't know where it's going, but what I do know is that it feels good. So this is kind of how it is with manifestation. You walk this path, this good feeling path, because it feels good. And if you know how the laws of the universe work, then you know that everything that you want is waiting for you on the good feeling path. It is not waiting for you on the bad feeling path. Because everything that you want represents a good feeling. So it's really very beneficial for you to do things that make you feel that way, make you feel good, make you feel better, give you relief. So I know that me making this stuff is on the path, but I don't know where exactly it's leading, or I don't know who is watching this, or who is getting what out of this. For all I know, this could be creating some kind of ripple effect somewhere, because, you know, this is kind of what I like about this platform and this world, is that anybody can come on here and share the things that they have come to know. And most likely that will be helpful to someone, somewhere. And we are all connected, right? So me talking about these things here and sharing them, and then somebody else, somewhere else is hearing this, and has maybe wanted to hear this for a really long time, and now it is here, this could be helping them in their life. And then they start to feel some type of way. And then different impulses are gonna occur to them in their life. And they might end up helping this world in some kind of way. That, like, it could be creating some kind of ripple effect like that. But I wouldn't even know about it. Because I'm just here in my room making this video, just talking about stuff that I believe in or have come to know. All I know is that it's on my path, basically. So, maybe I've gone, I don't know, have I gone a little bit off topic here? I don't know. But it's just, I think that it's just about realizing, if you have been practicing all of this for a while, and you know you are the creator of your own reality, that you don't have to be afraid of these unwanted experiences happening, because they can only be happening to give you more clarity, and you can't go back. You can't become less than what you now are. This is something that I actually found out pretty recently, that, like, vibrationally speaking, your vibration, it cannot become less than what it has already become. You can't really go back to that place where you have been, where you were before you were this you that you are now, because your vibration has just become more. What you are now likely to do is help yourself feel better when something unwanted, what seems like it's unwanted at the time, happens. And then you just get more clear. And then you feel your way into these better feeling states. And then you discover that you're okay again. Because you know what to do now. And the universe didn't insert this thing, this what seems like unwanted thing, into your experience to, like, torment and bully you or to test you. It's just that your higher self sometimes is calling you through these experiences in order to get you to ask for greater clarity, which is something that you want more than life itself. Like, I promise, we all want to be extremely clear. We don't want to be confused about our lives or about our preferences. It doesn't feel good. We want to know who we really are. We want to remember who we really are. And so then that experience then just helps give you more clarity on who you really are. And you just, what really ends up happening is that you prove to yourself again that I can feel better no matter what is happening. Because I manage my mood. And nobody can take that away from you. Nothing can take that knowledge away from you. You could go back to just reacting to things, but you know better now. You just know better. You can't really go back in your mind. You know these things now. So it ends up actually helping you. You just become better and better at managing your own emotional state, which is the only thing you can control anyway. I have stuff in my life right now that if I wanted to, I could just react to, and I could feel myself basically into a place of powerlessness, and I would feel horrible. Right now, in my life, I could do that. But I am out here, and I am happy, mostly, I would say. I'm not always happy, but I am mostly happy, because I'm managing my emotional state. I'm consciously deciding to do something different, because I don't like to feel like shit. And if you know that you are the creator of your own reality, you have all of this knowledge too. You know how to do that. You know how to help yourself, basically. So now, even though there's still, like, what feels to me sometimes like unsolved conditions in my life, I am not using these conditions as my reason to feel bad right now, because I don't have to. And I would just ask myself, well, what does this help if I feel bad about this right now? It's not going to bring me any clarity. It's not going to help me figure this out. It's just going to make me feel like shit, and that condition doesn't change anyway. So, and if this is something that I don't currently know what exactly to do about, I don't, have the answers yet, then if this condition is just going to be the way that it is, then I realize that the only thing that I can do, and the only thing that I can ever do, is just feel better or feel worse. That's the only thing that I can ever do about anything. And if this condition is just going to be the way that it is right now, then it doesn't really matter which way I feel. But it's just that if I feel better, I am more likely to start realizing the solutions little by little. But if I feel worse, I will never get there, basically. I will just feel myself into a place of powerlessness, and then nothing moves anyway. Because now everything has to match my feeling of powerlessness. Because that's how the universe works. So, nobody can take your knowledge away from you. Once you know these things, and you have studied these things, and you have practiced these things, and you have seen that, this is the way that it is, nobody can take that away from you. You will always know these things now. You can't go back. You can't become less than you now are. And that's a good thing. So even when something happens, you have the tools to deal with it, basically. You know how to feel better, and you know that this is the only thing that you can control anyway. But it's enough, because it's all about how you feel. Everything is gathering around how you feel all the time. So you don't have to be afraid of something unwanted happening, because you will know what to do. Even if you have a knee-jerk reaction to it, which you probably will have at first. You will feel that terrible feeling, but you know what it means now. You know that your higher self is not in agreement with how you're viewing that situation. And if you know that, and if you care about how you feel, you now have to have the tools to make yourself feel better and get into agreement with your higher self. And then over time, these situations, whatever it is, it has to change somehow. Or maybe you will stop seeing it as a problem. That's also possible. It's a very interesting thing. You are only viewing this as a problem because this is the focus that you have decided to view it through. This thing that has just happened in reality is just a thing. It's just a thing that has happened, but it doesn't really have inherent meaning. You are assigning meaning to it, and you can assign positive meaning or negative meaning. You can look for things that are good about that situation or things that are bad about that situation. The choice is yours. And all of that will affect how you feel. And then how you feel affects your world, basically. But you are the creator of your own reality, and you have all this knowledge, and you know that this is the way that it is. So you're not going to tolerate these really uncomfortable feelings, even if you do feel that way for a moment or for a little while. You're not going to keep on feeling that way because you know what to do. You are the creator of your own reality. You know that you have the power to feel better. You know that how you feel is not about this condition, whatever it is, even if it's unwanted. It's about the thoughts you are thinking about that condition. So you can choose to think different thoughts, and then you will feel differently about it. It's possible to get to a place where you feel like something that was previously a problem to you maybe actually isn't. Or at least it's not as big of a problem as you think it is currently. Because it just depends on what your focus is about it. There is a wanted end and an unwanted end to this subject, to this thing that you're thinking about. But you have got to want to look for the wanted in that situation. And you want to look for the wanted because you want to feel better, not because you want to change that situation. You want to feel better. But it's a funny thing. When you start feeling better, things start shifting. Not everything all at once. But if you just keep on practicing this, then little by little, even this situation, there will be like different things occurring about it. You will see that something is changing, even if you don't instantly get to a solution. I have stuff like this in my own life where I may not have this big solution right now, but I have seen things change because how I am feeling is changing. And nobody can take that away from you. And nobody can take away from you what you have learned about how to make yourself feel better. This is your power. This is what being a deliberate creator is. This is what being a creator of your own reality is. And nobody can take that away from you. So no matter what happens now, you will always have this knowledge with you. And I hope that that is of reassurance to somebody. That's of reassurance to me too. This is why I'm making this video. So this is why I wanted to talk about why I no longer believe in lessons. And hopefully this was helpful to you as well. So I will see you next time. Bye-bye.